Hello, in today's video I'm going to be doing a review of the Lidl Parkside pressure washer PHD110C1. What it is it's a little pressure washer, briefcase type handle on it, and it's a 1300 watt, which is just under 1 3/4 horsepower, so it's a nice little unit. Let's do a quick unboxing. See what's in the box, and then what we are going to do is go and pressure wash my car. So let's see quickly what's in the box. We have a bottle for putting in washy stuff. We have presumably handles and stuff. We have one lance there. Of sorts, not to refer to the manual. We have another one there, and I think that one let me just have a look. So you have that one as well. You have a manual. We have a hose. We have a small little pressure washer. With a few nozzles on it. Quite a long hose there. I can see how that works. And a 5-inch cable. So that's presumably pressure output. And that I presume goes on in there. There's an O-ring on there, so we'll slide that in and do that up. That's your pressure out. I'm then going to assume it ends like this. That doesn't fit very firmly on that. That's definitely the way it's got to go on. So that fits on like that. That's quite straightforward. That's the trigger to operate the actual pressure washer, and that's the trigger to disconnect it. So I'm presuming that's got an O-ring to fit onto something else, not quite sure what yet. That's the standard hose lock type fitting. Hold on. We have two oddities over here. Let me have a look. Go over here. Have one of those. One of those. And on the back end you have your water inlet. And what I'm just going to do is check that that is the standard hose lock fitting. Yep, that is your standard hose lock fitting there. So, give me a minute while I just quickly familiarise myself with what goes where and where we put these on, and I shall come back to you in a sec. Right, so I've read the manual, couple of things. Firstly, that obviously just plugs on the end of there, that's easy. This one here, this bottle fits on the end of here, and it's a bayonet fitting, so like that, and that is if you're putting some kind of cleaning fluid in there. And to disconnect, push in, twist, pull out. Okay, this is the long lance. This is what you would use for actual pressure washing. Same thing, bayonet connection in there like that, and your fittings pop in the end, and they have a little notch there and a corresponding either notch on either side. So you put that in. See, is that handed? No, not really. Press that button down, put it in, release, that's in, press the button, pull and it's out, and same thing for this one. Turn that round, push it in, push the button in, slides in, right, okay. When you come to connect the hose, it is a standard hose lock fitting. Let me just get a hose lock fitting without anything in it. And that just plugs onto there. Not that happy it's a particularly brilliant connection, but it works. And it, hold on, it's not quite right. Doesn't. I'm not sure that's going to work particularly well. I don't think it goes in deep enough. Oh no, it does. Yeah. So when you push this on, okay, you can push it on that far and it feels like it's on and it's on as far as it wants to go. It isn't. Okay, you can see from in here, hose locks work by sealing when they're disconnected, and that seal is still in place. That O-ring there, water will push against that and you won't get anything out. You do need to push it all the way home. That pushes this bit out inside the hose lock and you will then get water flow. And then that's also on fully firmly. So then pull that off, get that off. So that's your standard hose lock connector. So that one was a quid from Wilko's. Right, so that's that. In the manual it says that you've got to connect up this, screw this on, and it's got a sieve connector in it, and put in a sieve in it first. In actual fact, this was already on, and the sieve, which is that little thing there, was already in, and that's just obviously to stop large lumps getting through into the pump. So now I'm going to screw that back on and do it up tight. So that's a couple of bits to be wary of. There is a nozzle cleaner, which as it happens is referred to in the manual and actually is in the manual, is there, and that will have a home on that in a minute. So we're now going to go and plug all these plastic bits in. This is the big bit. There's 4 bits of plastic in that little bag. That slides on there like that, and that holds that. This one comes over here, slides in this way up. Okay, that's important because that's the underside. That there, you'll see what that's for in a minute. So you put that in like that, bang that home, and obviously because of the nature of the clips, once it's in, it stays there. This little nozzle cleaner then lives in that slot in there. You just slide it in there and it's there when you need it, okay? So you don't lose it. So there's your nozzle keeper. And that is then also the spot where, I'll just quickly refer to that diagram, the gun lives. You just slide the gun in there and it lives there. So that's fine, okay. I've covered how that connects on, bayonet connection there, turning it around the other way. That obviously just clips in there like that somehow. So that keeps that, and these two here are for winding the hose onto. If that's the right way it goes in, or is it the other way around? Hold on. as I was supposed to go in there. Let me just check on these two different sizes. Give me 2 secs. No, they're exactly the same. Hold on. Oh, okay. No, it goes in. Right. It goes in the way you wouldn't expect it to, which is facing inside. So let's just go in. That looks like it's going to be an arse to get that in because it's. Clipped in. No, don't bash that too hard, you're going to break something. Right, that's in. And the idea of that is that when you've called up your cable, not when you've called up your cable, but when you're finished with that, that sits in there, that sits in there. That can live up there, and those two have little cubby holes there. That might be the other way around, doesn't matter. And I'm not sure where you're supposed to put the 5 metre cable. And they've got the cable. Don't know. Right. So, the only thing left to do is go wash the car and fire this bad boy up and see how it gets on. Right. Right, so here we go, here it is. There's the on-off switch, just make sure I can operate that. Right, I put some car cleaner in there, ready for later. I'm going to do a quick rinse off. I've also found out where the mains cable goes. It goes around there, so let's just unhitch that. Needs to be all the way off. Right, that's 5 metres. But also important that you do not operate this without water connected. Start with plugging this in. I'm going to uncoil this. Connect that up. When you plug this in, you need to make sure you've bled it by pushing that in and getting the air bubbles out. Remember that you need to push it on hard firm all the way in. And that's a problem. Water's coming out. I should just go connect that up, and then I'm going to go and make sure the taps all are off. Right, so that goes on there. That bayonet's onto there, and we're going to start off with the Lancy thing, which is this one here. The reason why it has that on it is so that you can then turn that to adjust the spray. Right, let me just plug that all in and turn the water on. just to show you what we're working with. See, there's lots of scum on those wheels. I'll also give that a quick clean. Lots of scum on those wheels. Right, let's go pressure wash. Something I've got to mention is you have got to run it a few times. Make sure you have got water in there to just get the pressure up before it starts operating correctly. Otherwise it'll cut out pressure wise for a while. Not powerful enough to dig through the deepest of this stuff. And then turns out now there's a brush. Should have washed this car sooner. Crikey. Let's see if that loosens it off at all. Well, it's no miracle work on the wheels, but it has improved them. Let me show you what I mean. See, it looks a lot cleaner than it did, but there's all this stuff in here that is very hard to move. I shall probably give that another go now that's softened up a bit, but now that water's soaked into it. Let me just try that again. Right, so let's go put that all away. So I'm just going to show you the car. It's very good at getting bird droppings off. I say those wheels were a bit unfairly dirty, but it's even so. And of course here they look a lot better. The car looks generally a lot better. I shall apply some wax at some point. That was quick. Right, we're going to talk about what put it away in the shed. Let's have a quick look at that. And you can see a transition between the clean and the dirty, and that I'm using the right one for jet washing as opposed to just car washing. Not a magic bullet on really dirty alloys, eh? Right, so this is a little bit of a mess at the moment because I've got moving it around with wires plugged in and everything. But shutdown procedure is important. First thing is, this is what you want to do with it all connected up. Something to note, by the way, this over here, this little black thing there, okay, if you push it, it locks it, and if you push it back in, it means that you can then use it. So when you want to shut it down, when you finish for the day, and you will not be able to take this thing apart until you do, so you can't, for example, press that to take that off. You can't undo the pressure thing there, that will not move until you've shut it down properly. And to do that, what we do is fire it up, turn it off, let the pressure off, and there's quite a bit of it. We're also going to disconnect the water and then just let it all carry on letting the pressure off, which is all gone now. If there's pressure in the system, you will not be able to undo the various different high pressure fittings. For obvious reasons, it would be a bit of a safety hazard if you could. Let me just, that came off, which is a bit irritating. I'll push that one back in. Right, and to take it apart, now that you've released the pressure, you can just press that in there, that pipe comes out there. That nozzle is a better one for actually jet washing. Push that in like that, all the water out of that. It's in there. Bayonet fitting comes apart there. There's a lot of water in this thing. That can live up there, the other way around. Then we can undo the hose. Now when you start this thing up, we'll just tip that water out. Okay, and we're just letting the water drain out of the pipe. When you start it up for the first time, something you do need to bear in mind is that it will spend some time purging air. That's sort of normal. You'll press the button, it'll be a bit wimpy, release it and the pump will carry on going despite the fact it's supposed to stop. So what you do is let it build up pressure again for a little bit and then do it again and over the space until it's purged its air. The other thing you need to do is purge the air from your hose, which in the case of a hose lock you'll do by sticking your finger up the end. Hold on, let me get that cord away. And then once you've purged the air from the hose, you then plug it in. And then once you've plugged it in, you then have to purge your air from the system. And then when you go to put it away again, if you don't purge the pressure, there is no way you'll get this thing apart. Somewhat obvious reasons. If you could, the amount of pressure that's in the system, it would be reckless to get it to let it apart, and so it won't pull apart until you've purged the pressure. Right. It's a little bit bigger than it should be. Take that off because it'll make it easier to run up the cable. Couple goes on there. Something you need to bear in mind is to you do not want to get the jet washer at that. A sec. Just going to pull that camera up slightly. There we go. That's better. Right. 40 quid. I think it's quite good. It's not a magic bullet in the sense of those alloy wheels. Even with the correct head on, it's not a magic bullet in terms of those alloy wheels. But it certainly is in terms of your average bit of dirt. And you can see that it just wipes the path out and makes that look a lot nicer. And I can tell that's a job I've earned for myself for the weekend, is cleaning that path. But yeah, it's reasonably good. And for £40 I think it's excellent. And there it is. That's what you get in the box. All nice and together. There's a little bit of the car wash stuff in there. I guess you could just fill that up and leave it. And there you have it. The Lidl pressure washer. The where is it? The PhD 110C1. Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. That really helps.